How's it going, guys? I almost forgot how to record there. So I apologize for not having a video on Wednesday. I did a trailer reaction only to find out that my mic wasn't completely plugged in. So it's still recording me recording it, but when I go back to actually watch my video when I uploaded it, there was no audio whatsoever. And it took me like 5 minutes to try to figure out a reason why. And then I looked and it was just like halfway plugged in. I'm like, well, so much for doing a trailer reaction for that. So we'll get to the schedule at the end of the video, but as for right now, we're going over our stuff. Last time we ended the video was pretty sure we were level 33. We're level 42 now, so we're 172 strength, 141 dexterity, 106 vitality. We're at 612 health, but we don't have our bows up right now. Maxed out resistances. Charms really haven't changed. We're using Mortal King set. If I didn't change that in the last one, I didn't watch my previous video. Ring should still be the same. We did change to an Aryat's face instead of whatever helmet we were using before. 2D combat skills, 2 barbarian skills, fast hit recovery, that 20% attack rating, life stolen per hit, the enhanced defense, 20 strength, 20 dexterity, all resistance is 30, so that's pretty much cap for all that. Our other amulet we're using, so we're going to be using a spear, but we're doing concentrate barbarian, which I do remember talking about in the last video. So we're using Hone Sundan, because it's the best spear that I have, and it's automatically 3 sockets. So I just pretty much just stuck a bunch of jewels in there. So that's basically what we're rocking with right now. And for Merc, I don't think oh yeah, we changed her stuff too. I gave her gold skin, mostly just because the resistance is 35. I gave her Vampire's Gaze, even knowing that the life stolen per hit and mana stolen per hit, it's only for physical damage. So missile weapons like bows and arrows and spellcasters or something like that do not get that percentage from doing that. It's only for physical damage users, but I mostly just gave it for the cold damage anyways, and just the enhanced defense, stuff like that. And plus has the damage reduced by 17% and the magic reduced by 14, so she's still alive. She should stay alive a little longer. And then I gave her this bow. I'm not even trying to pronounce the goddamn name. It's actually better it's the better version of Ravenclaw, but you have to be level 33 to use it, and because it gives you that explosive arrows, and then it gives you like the 40 to 80 fire damage, and on top of that 163 hand damage, and then the piercing attack and so on and so forth. It's made for Amazon anyway, so it's one of the early Amazonian bows you can actually get. But yeah, so that's what we're rocking with that. Skills wise, level 14 concentrate. So we're doing normal attack damage 430 to 883, concentrate damage 680 to 1406. So that should make a big difference there. We still are on player 7 too. Level 4 Iron Skin, level 4 Natural Resistance, level 14 Spear Mastery, level 13 Shouts, and another level 13 Battle Orders. So, but we're here to fight the Ancients. I've been watching Elder Ring DLC Shadow of the Erdtree, so I've been kind of distracted lately with that. 1100 health for me and 823 health for her. So let's do this. And we're gonna knock out Baal too, and well, we'll knock out Ancients and Baal. So the video will be probably over 30 minutes just for that video altogether. So 30-40 minutes. So if you don't have the time to spend that, just watch it on your day off or something like that. So. Well, that's one down. We still have the option to do double swing, but it just doesn't offer the damage that I want. So that's the reason why I switched to concentrate. It's made for single target damage, but it's worth it in the end. So gained our level. $95, $95, 14%. Let's reshut back up. So go through the explanation on that, less than 5 minutes. So And if you like the Barbarian, go check out my walkthrough I did for a pole arm class only Barbarian. That was an interesting time. But yeah, I've been watching the YouTuber Fighting Cowboy, probably one of the best Dark Souls players that I've seen out there besides Lobos Jr. And been watching him play that stuff like that. So far with watching Shadow of the Erdtree for the Elden Ring DLC, it's not bad, but it's Dark Souls type S games are one of the ones, the type of games you really just have to explore for yourself to really actually enjoy the game. Watching it is just not going to give you that same appeal as you're actually playing the game for yourself. So you can explore every crook and nanny, crevice and stuff like that. I'm not going to say any spoilers for any of the boss fights he did, but it's decent for now. I don't know. I'd have to watch more of it for really to actually say if I prefer it over the actual main game itself. So on top of that, I do have a gaming PC picked out that I'm gonna want to buy. However, I'm gonna wait a few paychecks just to get it, just basically secure the deal. I could easily buy it right now, but so for my schedule wise, 4th of July weekend is literally right around the corner. It's like literally next week. So I will be extremely busy with that because I have 4th of July weekend to deal with, and on top of that, actually, we also have a town community thing that's going to be happening too. That's literally the next following weekend. So they pushed it back a month. So basically, the next like 2.5 weeks, I'm going to be really busy. So I will try to get your guys' videos out as best as possible, but I will hold no promises for that because I will be just busy and dead tired. But somewhere around that time, I'll be buying the PC that I want. I have the specs picked out, everything thanks to a fellow gamer who recommended it. So, but I'm gonna hold off for now. I do have like 4 or 5 other games set at the moment that I already pre-tested. They all work. One of them I'm playing right now, which I'm not gonna be playing on my channel just because in some areas it lags so bad just by the game itself. It's just not worth it putting on there, and that is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 1. We do have the Vegas 2, the story mode, and the T-Hunts on our channel there too. So if you like Tom Clancy games, go check that out. He also did like the Rainbow Six games. He did Splinter Cell and stuff like that too. So, which I have Splinter Cell 1 on my channel too. But there are some areas that they were just so laggy, it's just not even worth trying to even run them with OBS. So that game will not be put on my channel, but I have like 2 RPGs and a FPS, and a classic FPS. And it's not Call of Duty or Battlefield either. This pretty much predates those games, at least multiplayer wise, that I will be doing. There's like maps you can put some bots on, and then there's actual story mode itself, and we'll be doing both of those too. So that'll be our next big upcoming walkthrough / playthrough of those games. So and speaking of FPSs, I end up watching The Expendables 4. It was okay. I give it a solid maybe 7 out of 10. You know, it wasn't the best one they've ever done, and the fact that they pretty much look like these CGI'd Megan Fox's face completely did not look good whatsoever. It did have a nice plot twist and a nice ending twist, but it definitely doesn't hold up to like the first one or the second. So the third one wasn't bad either. So, but I think that's pretty much going to probably be the end of the Expendables movies. I mean, Sylvester Stallone and Arnie and Bruce Willis and all of them, they're just getting up in their age, and it's just like, you know, wouldn't mind seeing more Expendables movies, but You know, I prefer having the original crew, but because they're getting, you know, they're in their 60s and 70s, you know, it's just not going to happen. You know, then you start trying to introduce new people, and the problem with that is you have to have, you know, you can't just pick random people out of the middle of thin air. Say, okay, you're going to be the next Expendables movie. No, you want people who are actually going to, you know, fit the look. You know, we're going to be able to play the parts. And so I think Expendables 4 will probably be the last one. And I am super excited too. There is a movie that has been confirmed that's in the works, even by its own creator, and it pretty much it will pretty much predate anyone who watches my videos, including me. Spaceballs. It's by the original movie was by Mel Brooks. It's a parody to Star Wars and Star Trek and other movies. If you've never heard of it, highly recommend it, especially if you like John Candy and you like parodies of Star Wars. You should like it too. Back in the day, there was not going to be a Star Wars or Spaceballs 2 movie because it didn't make enough money. But it's been confirmed by Mel Brooks that there will be a Spaceballs 2 coming out 40-something years later. He's also done Young Frankenstein. He's done Blazing Saddles, which him and Richard Pryor pretty much co-wrote that movie. Funny movie, but if you're sensitive to racial slurs, even in a comedy sense, I highly recommend you do not watch that movie. I haven't got to watch Young Frankenstein yet, so, but I heard that's a pretty good one too. They were really dragging this thing out. Where the hell is the Zone of Destruction? They really don't want me to get to bail in time. We're already sitting at 12 minutes here. Come on now. There it is. Damn. Come on, Merc. I take it back. We have 3 FPSs in the, or 3 RPGs in the FPS. The other FPS one was one I talked about in the last video that I've never played either versions of the game. I actually had to look up a beginner's guide to even try to figure out how to even play the goddamn game, because I like, I don't know how would you would call it, like Age of Empires type of S games where it's kind of like world builders, I guess, if that's even the right definition for those type of games. It's kind of like that in its own sense, but it's a lot more technical, so it takes a lot more time to actually learn the game instead of just building random ass buildings, build a really big ass army and go conquer the map. Taking on the AI, I mean, the goddamn bots kicked my ass like 3 or 4 times in a row because I underestimated, thinking I had the advantage because I had the bigger army, but they had the better upgrades, and just continuously just kicked my ass. And I was just kind of like, I'm not sure if I want to actually even play this game. Even though there is a story mode too, and I was just doing skirmishes, just try to actually learn the game itself. So. Now, this is where mercs usually, especially Act 2 mercenaries, tend to get their butts kicked because of the poison. But they're not the ones I'm really concerned about, because I can handle all this garbage. It's going to be Travancore I'm going to have a problem with, because Bartok almost killed our mercenary before we had to go fight Mephisto. And even the High Council, or even the Throne Destruction version of him, which is even more powerful, can still be a goddamn nuisance. And he's the main one that I care about most. Everyone else we should be able to handle. Lister should be somewhat difficult, but it shouldn't be impossible. She was smart enough to stay back, so we're good at that point, so she lived. I know there's probably a lot of people disappointed that I haven't lost my Merc yet or some shit either. I haven't gotten any comments about it, stuff like that, but it's one of those things you watch a Nuzlocke for them to actually lose their Pokemon, you know, and to be like shocked and surprised thinking that, you know, this is my favorite one, you know, they're never going to let this one fall. This one's, you know, it's going to make it to the end of the Pokemon League, only for them to die like maybe halfway through the game. You're just shocked. Like the main person in a horror movie died. But I was thinking about, you know, maybe I should switch up my Mercs just to mix it up a bit, but it's kind of like, I kind of want to prove a point at the same time to show that you can take an Act 1 mercenary all the way up to Act 5. And still have them live, even on player 7. What's my durability on this? Okay, yeah. My carpal tunnel has been kicking my ass the last couple of days, so my hand is already starting to go numb on me. Wow. Marcus is actually holding her own pretty damn well, too. I want to see if she can take this guy out or not. She actually took out a minion of destruction by herself. I'm proud of you, Mark. I really am. So basically, we're going to be beating the game at level 45. That's basically the average point for me doing that, so 81% and 84. Wow. Okay. So if 84 is the highest percentage of us even taking on a minion destruction, I wonder what Baal's going to be like then. So basically at this point, we lose concentrate, or Merc dies, we lose concentrate since it's our highest one. So, and 1439 is the highest hitting damage. I gotta take a short little 30-second here. My hand is starting to go numb on me from goddamn carpal tunnel. I have a wrist brace on too, so it's like, but it's really annoying. Thankfully, Diablo 2 is one of those games you can actually pause during a boss fight, because that would suck not being able to do that. It's like your hand starts going numb on you, and it's like, I gotta pause, but I can't. Goddamn mana burn shit, it's really annoying. Hey, leave my Merc alone, dickhead. As well as one of the problems with annoying situations when I was doing Ubers, my Paladin is that, especially with someone like Diablo, where he would constantly spawn his goddamn shit, and then trying to focus on Diablo, and you got like 20 of his minions right in front of you, and you're trying to hit Diablo, but you continuously hit his goddamn Mercs because they continue to stand right in front of him, and then you go back and forth between hitting him and trying to whittle his health down and shit. It's really annoying. If you're not good at crowd control, I highly recommend you don't do Ooners, because it's really annoying. You need like top of the end line gear just to do this shit. Or at least I recommend for beginners. Pros are going at like going at level 15 and fight Ooners and stuff like that. Crap. Alright, so we basically beat that, and we beat it in 20 minutes, which is awesome. Usually a video will go over 20 minutes because of the explanation of schedules and stuff like that. So, this is basically what we did. At max of our health with all the bows, 1200 health, 77%, so 80% with concentrate with Barbarian. So, stick any jewels you want in there. Usually when towards the Act 5, you usually want to focus on more demons than really undead, because really the only dead you're really going to face is the soldiers. Everything else is going to be mostly just demons. I socketed this Viper Magi armor. I didn't really have a jewel I really wanted to stick into it, but I highly recommend if you get this, or you can trade for it, it's definitely going to be worth it. It works around for all type of casters or just characters in general. Arget's face, not sure how Diablo 2 Remastered works nowadays because of new rune words like that, but just says for unique pieces of gear, since Barbarian is probably one of the least played characters, it's still going to be somewhat probably expensive for you to get, even getting a crappy version of it, but it's going to be one of the best Barbarian helmets you'll ever get that is not a rune word. Any charms you can get that is going to max out your resistances and help you out. It's going to help out a lot, especially if you get something like what I have, that 5 extra dexterity on top of that damage reduced down by 4. You know, the gold flying crap doesn't really matter, but the resistances are really nice. Immortals King set back in the day before rune words were even a thing. It was one of the best sets you could get. Actually, it was the best thing you could get for a Barbarian. And then rune words eventually came out, and then pretty much just put set pieces into the goddamn grave. But just wearing these 3 pieces alone, I mean, gloves, you need 110 strength, but you have to be level 30. The belt, you have to be level 29 with 110 strength. And the boots, you have to be level 31 with 125 strength. But just those 3 alone, because it gives the bonus to the combat skills. You know, you get in the fast hit recovery. The belt's nice because it gives you that additional 25 to strength. The resistances you get from it, especially with the boots, you get that faster run walk, you get that 110 attack rating, you get the defense, you get that 40 extra life. Bonuses, even with that, you get the 24% increased attack speed, that 20 dexterity, that 20 extra strength right there alone. You know, it's going to help out your Barbarian, especially if you plan on using a really heavy gear, you know, like ancient armor and crap like that, that's going to take like 232 strength just to wear the goddamn shit. Charms wise, I pretty much just want stuff that's going to give you resistances or any actual bonus stats to your strength, to your dexterity, to your health and stuff like that. Highly recommend you really stick to more small charms or really grand charms, because it's going to save you a lot more room, especially if you want to carry stuff or you want to loot stuff like that too. So there's that. Even when it comes to grand charms, you really want to get grand charms, they're going to give you to health. So like most people would recommend going to 15 to 20 of once, but if you're stuck only using something like 10s or 12s, that's still fine too, but get them where they actually have bonuses for elements or give you bonus stats too. That's what's really going to help out a lot there. When it came to skills, before we were using bash because it's your very beginning one you're ever going to use. Later on, I eventually moved to double swing, when you can actually get the stat requirements to actually start using swords, stuff like that. For me, it got me all the way up to Act 4, but that's with the gear that I have. You're not going to have the gear that I have, so it might get you all up to Act 2 tutorial. After that, for Act 3, you're going to really start seeing diminishing things until you actually start upgrading your gear. If that being the case, then I recommend you really focus on your attack speed, and you actually start putting points to concentrate. Like I said, it's for single target damage only, but it's, personally in my opinion, is actually better than Berserk, because Berserk, it dishes out more damage, but it's going to pretty much make your defense completely zero. So if you get hit even with something like 5k health, player 7 on hell difficulty, your barbarian is going to feel it. Frenzy and double throw, not really bothered that. Leap is always good, especially, if you're struggling or you're getting surrounded by large mobs. Highly recommend that, especially going to places like River Flame, where you actually have to go through the little maze there. It's pretty decent. Leap attack's always nice, however, you actually have to have a target for him in order to actually get the full max jump. Whirlwind in original Diablo 2, which is the one I'm playing, not remastered. Whirlwind is complete crap. Don't ever get it. It is completely useless. It's one of the worst skills for a barbarian ever. Why Blizzard designed it the way they did, I have no idea. There's also, back in the day, I'm pretty sure they patched it now, and it was the same thing with the Charger Barbarian. Your or Charger Paladin, your characters could actually get stuck. Like, if you were playing a Charger Paladin, he would constantly run, and then he would get stuck in a run animation where he would freeze up for a good 3 or 5 seconds before the animation would actually end. Well, the Whirlwind Barbarian was the same thing too. He would just stand in a circle or stand in one spot and just continuously spin until the animation finally just stopped. And if it didn't, you had to actually exit your game out and reload it back up. Combat masteries, before we were using sword mastery for the beginning. Then we went to the mace one, but we pretty much stuck with spears. Spears are nice. Sometimes they may offer you fast attack speed. Sometimes they may offer you very fast attack speed. It really depends on the type of spear. Most of them are going to have normal attack speed. It's the reason why most people usually don't use two-hand stuff with that. You can hear the family background, they'll eventually be entering. Because they're just too slow of weapons. High amount of damage, slow attack speed. I don't use this increased stamina because at this point I have 226. You're not really going to run out of stamina that much. Increased speed for your rock and run speed, not really going to matter that much anyways, unless you plan to really just run past every single enemy. Iron Skin, always something you really want to put points into, almost maxing it out just for that increased defense, especially when you get into health difficulties. Natural resistances, eventually when you start copping out around 50 is pretty much where you want to stop putting points into natural resistance, because at that point you're just wasting points. War Cries, you want to go for your shout because you want to max that out. It's going to give you that pretty much maxed out defense. Battle Orders, you want to max it out because that's what's going to max out your health and your mana. Always put 1 point into Battle Command because it'll boost these up by a certain amount. Howls can always be nice too because it'll scare away anything, and it'll pretty much cut off any crowd control that's going on to you, or you're getting swarmed up, you're about to die. Taunt, I almost never goddamn use, unless you're in a party and you're pretty much the most beefiest character there, surrounded by a bunch of sorceresses or really squishy characters like an Amazon or Assassin. Battle Cry, on the other hand, I actually highly recommend it, even at level 4. Minus defense of 56% and minus damage 28%. That works even against bosses. It may not seem like a lot, but it actually will help you out quite a bit in those fights when you're normally going to be taking 2 or 3 amount of times damage. It may even just lower that down by 1, so you're only taking 2 times as much damage. Warcry, back in the day, it was actually really good until you got up to hell difficulty. Then it pretty much all it did was just stun enemies because it just didn't have the damage needed to kill them. If you're really struggling for potions and you're pretty much lacking on gold, finding potions is going to be really nice for you. I almost never use the goddamn thing because it's just completely useless. Item Find is just for Item Find Barbarians. If you're really going to make a Magic Find Barbarian, highly recommend it. I know they upgraded it in Diablo 2 Remastered, so it's even better than it is. And then you have Grim Wards. One thing and another thing I just never dabbled in. Just didn't see the point to them because you're a barbarian, you're going to be right up in their fights. However, you're struggling in places like Chaos Sanctuary and stuff like that, I highly recommend you actually use them because they will scare off enemies for a certain period of time. So it will save you from getting mobbed up and getting hurt too bad. And I apologize if you hear the family in the background. But as for mercs, Ice Merc, and it's our same mercenary that we got from Act 1. She didn't die when I was grinding, and she got all the way up to level 43. So at 131 to 404 damage, she's pretty much survived. So that's that. We're like at 30 minutes. Schedules wise, like I said, usually one of these I usually take about a week off. So next week there probably will be no videos, just so that I can actually get recordings out. And like I said, I'm going to be busy with 4th of July weekend, and I have a big town event coming up at the same time, back to back, and then I got like 3 or 4 more after that. So I will continue to update you guys on the Twitter and the Discord and YouTube and stuff like that too. And if you haven't, go check out my Reddit page. I started up a Reddit page like a week or so ago, so go check that out too. But I hope you guys enjoyed the Diablo 2 Nuzlocke. Sorry to disappoint anyone that I didn't lose a merc, but maybe next time I'll switch it up and we do another Nuzlocke with a different character, and we'll switch up a different mercenary and see where we go with that. We might even use the Act 3 merc, since that's the least played merc, and then like an Act 5 merc too. So. But stay safe, healthy, sanitize. Make sure to drop a like, leave a subscribe, leave comments below, and I'm sure to check them all out. See you guys.